All right, we're at the Chicago Drives Electric, and we are going to check out the all-new 2024 Dodge EV Charger today. And check it out. First view. It's the first time it's really been in the public, so we're going to have some first opportunity to talk about it with the representatives from Dodge, and check it out. It's pretty cool.
The next generation of Dodge. 110 years old this year, and in a lot of ways we're just getting started. We set out on this path to create America's performance brand about 10 years ago with the Charger and Challenger, as we were at the time really grappling with the separation from Ram in 2009, trying to figure out what the Dodge brand was going to be, what it stood for. We'd had an incredible past, but it was a little bit lost at the time. We were kind of, if you remember those days, we were selling a lot of Journeys, Avengers, and Caravans for $19,999, America's value brand versus America's performance brand. And that's when a guy that I worked with here, that some of you might remember, Tim Kaniskas, he and I worked together, lived in the city together, and had a lot of fun for a few years. And there's not a better car guy or a gearhead in the industry. But true to its heritage. A lot of people in here probably look at this and the design team would say the 68 Charger was the inspiration for this. And a lot of you can see that in the front. And if you stand in the proportions, this looks like the General Lee jumping through the air in the back. The proportions are incredible. But it's also truly a daily driver now. Standard all-wheel drive, hidden hatch design, fold flat seats, UV-like cargo capability. This vehicle has gone from kind of a niche performance car to a very fully capable, not only an EV, but a fully capable daily driver. But just like when we started out in 2013 with a couple powertrains and a couple models, and as you live through the last 10 years, we continue to evolve. We continue to expand the lineup and come out with buzz models and different performance characteristics. This is just the beginning. Next year we launch into a four-door. Second half of next year we bring out two ICE powertrains, two six-packs at 420 horsepower and 550 horsepower. This vehicle, this platform, multi-energy platform, allows us to do things we haven't been able to do in the past. It allows us to flex with the industry. I'm excited today to be here to see all these BEVs, and I love the event that everyone here is putting on. And BEVs are the way of the future, but it's not going to happen overnight. We have to evolve. It's not going to happen at the same rate in different parts of the city, different parts of the country, different parts of the world. We're all going to evolve at different times, and that's what's great about this platform, is it allows us to flex with the changing dynamics of the industry over the coming years. And we can meet consumer demand in different parts of the country. But there's one thing that's different about how we're going to market. We launched with our Halo vehicles first, and there is an SRT coming, a future Halo, but this vehicle today, this Scat Pack Stage 2, on paper, outperforms yesterday's Challenger Hellcat Retta. Quicker 0 to 60, all-wheel drive instead of rear-wheel drive, more rear seat legroom, better cargo capability, more safety, better tech, and about $10,000 less. So this is SRT level performance of the past and a Scat Pack Stage 2 today. 670 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, instant torque, instant acceleration, and the range is actually city range 250 miles, better than the city range on the outgoing Challenger. So there's so much excitement around this vehicle. There's so much to get behind, so much fun that can be had. And this is actually my car. This is one I'm driving around back in Detroit, putting miles on. Looks a lot better than it usually does because they cleaned it up, and I'm going to make sure I bring it to more events because it looks great. But there's some great things when you, and we'll get up here in a little bit, we walk around and get in the vehicle. There's so much room in this. One of the cool things about this platform is the wheelbase is the same. And a lot of people say, wait, it's a two-door, why are you calling it a Charger? Well, the two-door and the four-door, pretty much identical other than the doors. So if you think back, the Challenger and Charger last year had a different wheelbase. So the Challenger had less rear seat leg room than the Charger. So this one, all you're compromising is egress ingress with the doors. Same rear seat leg room, plenty of capability, plenty of cargo capacity back there. So that's why it's a Charger. It was inspired off of the the '68 Charger, the most iconic muscle car in history, as a lot of people say, and back to the roots. But it will be known as the two-door Charger and the four-door Charger. And then you've got the Daytona. So this is the Charger Daytona. The Daytona name is what means it's the electric version. So if it's the ICE versions, it will be the two-door Charger 6-pack or the four-door Charger 6-pack. And the reason we call it the Daytona is up here, this R-wing. And if you can see, the pass-through. So this vehicle was designed for performance first. In fact, this Stage 2 kit with the track pack on this Scat Pack has 305s in the front and 325s in the rear. You don't put that on a BEV car that you're trying to hypermile and get range on. This was built for performance first, range second. But with this big block of a front end, you still have to improve aerodynamics. So where did the R-wing come from? Well, if you go back to the '69 Daytona with the Heritage R-wing on the back, or the wing at the time, the engineer Gary Romberg, the last name with an R, was the inspiration for that wing. He worked at NASA at the time as a NASA engineer as well. That's where the team said, they came up with this notion, well, we can improve aerodynamics in the front without giving up any of the iconic look, and actually improves the aerodynamics and helps improve range. So one of the things you'll see, other than the two-door and the four-door, the other difference between the ICE powertrains that are coming next year and the BEV powertrains is this R-wing. So if you think when we package the 6-packs in here, this hood will kind of, you just close this off because you'll have cooling up front, you'll have more packaging for an ICE powertrain, and then you'll have the exhaust in the rear versus the Fratsonic chamber. Other than that, interior, everything identical between the lineup. So it's a very simple lineup, but we're going to have a lot of fun with it over the years, as we always do, with colors and stripes and wheel packages, and we'll continue to push the boundaries. But I think the most important thing is, people talk about, well, why battery electric? Why launch with this and not the ICE powertrains? You're stepping away from V8s. Well, we pushed the limits with V8s. They were phenomenal, and they'll continue to be phenomenal. But if you're standing still, you're not going forward. You're not changing the dynamic of the industry in the future. And a lot of people say, well, yeah, but you can't give them up. Well, a few years ago, people, before we kind of created all this, they wanted a new platform. I'm changing the sound, or the drive modes to go louder. So now I'm going to go into drag mode, which will be the loudest. And then I'll go back down to auto mode. You can hear it kind of getting quieter. And then, so now we're in auto mode, which you can hear it's a little softer. You don't quite hear as much. But if you go into sport mode, you turn it on so you can adjust it. And then there's unique shutdown sequences, so when I turn off the car, so it gives you the ability to kind of customize it to what mood you're in that day.